Welcome back to another video. My name is Abby and today we're talking about 3 ways you can change your self-concept with your mental diet. Now, if you're new to this channel and you want more videos like this one, all you got to do is hit that subscribe button, click that bell. It's going to let you know whenever I release new videos. And if you like this video, a great way to support this channel and really help to spread this message is to actually hit that like button. It really goes a long way. So back to the video, 3 ways that you can change your self-concept with your mental diet. Mental diet idea comes from Neville Goddard, and really what he says it is a conversation you have with yourself, your inner conversation. When I was researching for this video, I looked up the etymology, the root. Where does this word conversation come from? The definition for conversation is where one dwells, and another definition is frequent use. So the conversation you have with yourself, thinking about it's where you dwell. It is what you frequently use. So it is pivotal with whatever you want out of life for you to be very clear and have complete awareness of what your mental diet is. The first way to change your self-concept with your mental diet is to understand that your current life is the accumulation, the totality of your current mental diet. That means that your cause, what is ever happening in your conversation, whatever it is playing in there is the cause, is the origin for whatever you see reflected back to you. Those thoughts are echoed back in what you're experiencing in your life right now. So one thing would be to start really gaining awareness. What is your mental conversation and what does your mental diet sound like? What thoughts do you think on a day-to-day basis? You think between 60 to 80,000 thoughts a day. Most of those thoughts you're not actually aware of. And 90% of the thoughts you thought yesterday are the same ones you thought today. So it's vital for you to really start listening. What does it sound like in your head? Another thing we can gain to get a little bit more awareness is to ask yourself, what would someone need to believe and to assume about themselves in order to see this effect, this reflection come back to them? That can help reverse engineer on what your mental diet might be and shift your mental awareness of what you're actually thinking, so that as you're thinking it, you can catch yourself, not because you're bad, but simply because you want to make a change. As you're starting to become more aware, you can begin to ask yourself, what would it be like to be in that leadership role? What would it be like to have that abundance? And when you start asking these open-ended questions to yourself, you start actually allowing your frontal lobe, which is 40% of your brain, which according to Dr. Joe Dispenza is the CEO, the boss of your brain. Your frontal lobe, with that new question, is actually going to look at your pre-existing experiences, which are groups of different neurological networks that you've arranged based on memories and experiences you've had. It's going to go and look through those old experiences in a new way, because you've asked this question: what would it be like for you to have that abundance, for you to have that dream relationship? You're going to go in there and it's going to give you visions, because it's going to reinterpret those experiences and give you a new potential. That alone can allow you to start shifting and becoming aware of who you've been and who you want to be. These are all clues to help you become more aware of what you're thinking on a day-to-day basis. The second way you can change your self-concept with your mental diet is to incorporate your future conversations now. What does that mean? We're actually using one of Neville Goddard's techniques, which is living in the end, which is being in that state, feeling and thinking with that wish fulfilled. If it was that dream relationship, it was that amount of money, if it's that career job title that you wanted, what would you, in that version of reality, what would you be thinking and feeling? Really, ultimately, what would your mental diet be? Because most likely, what composes your mental diet now is not what it'll be in that version of you. So what you want to do is you want to bring that version to you now. And what this is going to do is it's actually allow you to have different feelings, because you're having these new thoughts. Every time you think a thought, your body releases a chemical so that your body can feel the way that you were thinking. Well, if you're having new feelings and having these new thoughts because you're thinking about this future version of yourself, Dr. Joe Dispenza says that your state of being is how you think and how you feel. So you're moving in, you're allowing your mental diet to be those future conversations, but they're not future, you're actually going to shift them to now. You're changing your state of being. Automatically, you're going to change your electromagnetic signature that you're sending out into the universe. And what does that do? We know that everything is vibrating and sending out information. So as you're sending out new information, you're actually interacting with the quantum field in a different way. Therefore, you're actually going to get back to you a new experience. As you have these new experiences, they're going to actually, the end product is going to be emotions. Those new emotions are going to actually inspire new thoughts. And you can see this whole cyclical thing starting again. You can start to see how this process over and over starts to shift your reality. It starts to shift who it is you think you are, because you're starting to experience new things. You're starting to change your reality. Another benefit from this, which is going to help change your self-concept, is as you start thinking in these new ways, you're forming these new neurological patterns in your brain where your brain is actually looking like this future experience has happened. Well, it's going to prune apart the old networks and that you were thinking. So if you're not continuing to think that way, they'll actually prune apart, making it less likely that you'll think that in the future. So you're literally reforming the way that your brain looks and prepping it for a situation that has yet to happen, but your body starts to feel like it has already happened. As you begin to investigate what your current assumptions are, and according to Neville Goddard, an assumption is what you give permission and consent to be true for your life, how life works for you, and who you can be in this life. You start to really come up against your cybernetic mechanism, and basically that is your self-concept. And what is a cybernetic mechanism? An easy external example of that is a thermostat in a home, where at a certain level, it's at a set point. As it rises up, it stops and it comes back to the set point. Goes back to low, something happens, it comes back to the set point. It wants to operate around the set point. You too have a cybernetic mechanism in your brain. Another word for that is a self-image, who it is that you think you can be in the world, a self-concept, a concept you have of yourself. Who it is you think you are, how successful you can be, if you're not meant for success, if you're not meant for love, if you are meant for love. There can be a vast amount of different components to this image you have. And anything that is outside of that, for instance, if you make $40,000 right now and you want a $100,000 job, that $100,000 job is outside of your self-concept. So you have to expand your self-concept and change it so that inside that concept is the desires that you want in your life. The third way in which you can change your self-concept with your mental diet is as you're becoming more aware of what your diet is, you'll be able to resist the emotional addictions that you currently have. According to Dr. Joe Dispenza's work, you can be emotionally addicted to stress, to worry, to anxiety, to fear. So your body actually feels more comfortable in those states because you've been in them most of the time. So as you're becoming aware, as you're investigating and challenging what your mental diet is part of, and if you believe those things to be true, and as you're expanding your self-concept to include the things that you want to have in life, you will start to see these addictions that your body wants to feel because it's felt it so many times, and resist them, which the biggest thing about that is you're going to be able to maintain your new state of being, which is how you're thinking and how you're feeling. As you bring more awareness and you can view it from a higher level, bringing more consciousness, bringing more light to the dark parts of you, which is not evil, which is not bad. It's just things that you're unaware of. You don't have conscious awareness. They're in your subconscious. So just like if a light's off in a room, we get a flashlight and we illuminate it so that we can better see it. Because you're able to now maintain that new state of being, it's going to bring in those new experiences. It's going to bring in those new potentials and allow you to fill them. Those new states of being are going to allow you to maintain that level so you can have those experiences so that you don't go in and out of the states. You're maintaining it. So eventually that reflection, that echo, is what you experience in your life. You no longer have to hope and desire and long for your wish to be fulfilled. You're going to be aware of your mental diet and allow it to be nourished, and plant the seeds and allow them to have nourishment. Feel those feelings now. Bring in those new conversations. Be who it is you want to be now. There's no reason to wait. The only thing standing between you and feeling those new states is your permission that something outside of you needs to happen before you feel them. You can feel them now. That external thing just gives you validation for you to feel them. Don't wait for it. Feel it now, and then allow your external world to reflect who it is you are, reflecting your mental diet and living in your wish fulfilled. I really hope you've enjoyed this video. If you have, hit subscribe. If you haven't done so already, hit that like button, and I'll see you on the next one.